All right, it's game time. This is called the integer game. And it is used a lot in Common Core when they're trying to show how to add negative numbers and subtract, but we just focus on adding. Okay, as you could see a deck of cards or a partial deck of cards. I've got 1 ace through 10 in hearts, an ace through 10 in spades. So what we're going to do is we're going to say that these spades or the black cards are positive, and all the red cards are negative. Okay. Now what we're going to do is you're going to pair up your students and they shuffle the cards. Okay, so let's just pretend that these are shuffled. We're just a hot mess, but there we go. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. I do know how to shuffle, but not when I'm holding a camera. Okay, so what happens is that when you pair up students, there's a dealer. And so what would happen is that each person's going to get dealt 2 cards. So here we go. So let's say person 1 gets a 6 and a 5. And person 2 gets an ace and, let's get a black card, a 10. Okay. The goal of the game is to have your 2 cards total 0. Okay. So what happens is that there is basically a pile of cards which you're going to draw from, which I'm attempting to do right now, and then there's a pile that you discard. Okay, so everybody's turn, they will pick a card and they will discard a card, and you want to get to 0. So this person currently has a negative 11, so they are not close to 0. And this person has a positive 9 because 10 is positive, 1 is negative, so positive 9. Okay, so let's say it's this person's turn. And let's say that they got, where the heck are all my black cards? Let's say that they chose an 8. Okay, so they can keep the 8 or discard the 8, but they've got to discard one of their cards. Okay, well, let's think about this. If they keep the 8 with the 6, they will now be at a positive 2. If they keep the 8 with the 5, they'll be at a positive 3. Got the idea? So if you want to be closest to 0, I'm going to discard the 5. Okay, so now this person had their turn. They are now at a positive 2. Okay, now it's this person's turn. They can choose to either pick up the 5 if they think that it would help them, or they could just choose a random card from our pile. So let's say that they chose to do a random card from our pile. Okay, and let's say that they got the number 3. Okay, so now they have to discard one. All right, so if they kept the 10 and the 3, they're now at a positive 13. If they kept the 3 and the ace, they're now at a positive 2. So they would want to discard the 10. So there's the 10. So now we have 2. All right, so both people are at a positive 2. The winner is the first one to get to 0. So let's say, dun, 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 this person's turn, they pick up a 4. Okay, so if you have a 4, they have to decide which card would be most beneficial to get rid of. So if I have a 6 and a 4, I'm at a negative 10. If I'm at an 8 and a 4, I'm at a positive 4. So it turns out it's actually worse for them to keep this card. They should stay with this positive 2. Okay. All right, so basically at this point, for us to end on this next draw, this person would need to grab the 2 of hearts. So let me see if I can cheat. Oh, I'm cheating. There we go. So if this person would grab the 2 of hearts, oh, wait, no, that would not be a good idea. They would want to draw an ace. There we go. Okay. So the reason why I say they'd want to draw an ace is because if they draw an ace, they can get rid of the 3, and now they have a total of 0. So the winner is the first one to get to the total of 0. Whew. Okay, now, the idea, of course, is that you get your students interacting with each other. You don't have to use hearts and clubs. You could just make up your own actual integer cards that are positive and negative. But again, it's this practicing of what 2 cards total closest to 0. Then you could upgrade it and have them do 3 cards. So they always have to have 3 cards, or they always have to have 4 cards. So again, it's that practice of adding and subtracting and seeing when you get the closest to 0. Okay, I hope that helped.